Wow, so many lives today. Folks, explosive truth, really. And I would have waited all the way till tomorrow to release this. It came out earlier today while we were sleeping, while I was night shift. But Donald J. Trump, which I did publish, the ultimate last demand on Iran, where USA is in with talks. Now dozens of ships promised carrying the Iranian flag from Iran, and those oil tankers coming out. But as you all see, Donald J. Trump issues, and it's real, it's Truth Social, it's Donald J. Trump, the ultimate indestructive force against the infrastructure and manufacturing capabilities of Iran, putting all of Iran into the dark, loss of all communication, and of course, ultimately all domestic manufacturing capability. That's his threat. All primary resource harvesting and sending out onto the world will be ended in one fell swoop. That's last of Donald J. Trump. And why am I going into this video today? Because I got my final UNSC rotating membership email, Mike Waltz, Ambassador, signing off. Here comes Bahrain to take over just coming Tuesday. That's officially it for USA. It will be now quiet. There won't be any more communications between myself and the USA UNSC ambassador now for possibly upwards of 16 months. Hard to say. We'll get that schedule next January and we'll know where USA sits on that. But that's it, folks. Lights out. Not a bad thing. It's just a reality of the world. Works I've been doing, many projects are always timed to specific presidencies of the UN that will be for the initiatives we're doing. I gambled on this one. I did have an official day for certain on our petition in February, but under UK, it was a bad idea that was communicated to me from a very powerful American, a good friend, very blessed and lucky. That's a billionaire who follows little old me on Twitter. So when you have people like that, we've had tremendous power in this world and political clout proven. You try to take those things and you try to say, yeah, it's probably best I trust their judgment, as their military and police security clearance far outpaced anything I got or ever probably could ever have. And so I did that, we did that, and lo and behold, 7 emails from the ambassador, the most fruitful I've ever had in my life to date in the last 8 years, as I've been aggressively going to the United Nations Security Council. While we've had tremendous successes, huge successes, this is probably the biggest for communication back and forth. But folks, understand this: when Donald J. Trump says this on the second last day, publishes this today because UNSC is ending, he needs to end his military operation, closing it out quickly, giving, like I said, the first week of April to make that decision, that critical decision that we will epically alter Iran forevermore. And people can say, and I've had people comment, the Persian Empire survived 6,000 years of blah, 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 blah. What? Kingdom empires? I wrote a paper called The Nature of International Law, as it really is, an Oxford paper. #1 on international law, actually, for many years. Very well received around the world, and specifically mega nation states, you know, like China, who rolled out a red carpet for me, in fact, and had one of their doctorates write an entire paper on just one small Chinese African portion, Zanzibar to China, and that international law and legal system that existed thousands of years ago. Yes, I go through 5,000 years of history. Fools talk, Canadians especially, like they know something, like, I did a Google search, or AI told me. When you deep delve into the real world, you take many, many months to make a paper like the nature of international law as it really is, like I did, and many doctorates have before me, after me. In fact, there's millions of these things by high-minded people. For a guy like me, a welder with a business degree, to get on that kind of stage, get an invite, and let alone get to submit, well, I didn't win and I didn't get any Pulitzer Prize. I certainly moved a lot of governments of the world. I certainly made a large impact all over the world, and especially with two major powers, China, USA, and Russia's there too. At least enough respect following that to converse with me at some pretty high levels. And that's something I'm always going to be proud of, because I don't know any other Canadian that has done something like that could say, I have these three superpowers and I've communicated with them at their second highest international standing in the world underneath president. I don't know anybody else who can claim that. That's me. And it's proven, it's published, it was made public even on Twitter X, especially by China, the then second in the world, Zhang Jun. And of course he went and he presented my UN proposal resolution on residential school genocide. That was done. And now we got USA taking all of our stuff and communicating that back and forth like never before in any history of myself in the UNSC. While these people may follow me, they never ever made any public statements, let alone emails to converse back and forth. So forevermore, I'm going to cherish that. It proves to me that you stay the course, you keep up the work. But folks, Iran's coming to an end. I'm going to tell you why. In the nature of international law, as it really is, I presented the oldest source of Iranian international law that, no, you fools, is not 6,000 years old. It's barely over 2,500 years old. Is that a big deal? Sure it is. But even in the Cyrus cylinders, which is now 1,600 years old, that's all been abandoned by Iran. Those achievements died in that Stone Bronze Age with the Persian Empire. And they went on to go into slavery, and now here they are in Sharia law. So don't tell me about surviving anything in Iran. I know their history explicitly. I know their achievements in international law absolutely, as do high mind academics do too. Published in mass majority, not cuckoldy Canadians who dive into their Crown and their Google Oxford searches that are not international reputable or even accurate remotely. I can tell you this, Iran has survived shit. Their empire fell a long time ago. In the world today, in the last 100 years, that empire is finito. Persian Empire, gonzo. They have nothing of what they had. In fact, all those countries part of that hate them today. It's proved in all UN resolutions, as well as their marks of their independence, along with that total 142 nations who got legal independence from the UNSC. So please, you cucky, socialist and fascist, crown-loving British Empire that too as well no longer exists only in your bullshit, fraudulent constitution. That's where it exists, because it certainly doesn't exist figuratively or literally in the rest of the world today, outside of a couple other cucky nations. If you guessed Australia and New Zealand, you'd be deadly accurate. But many others are trying to break away. Many others don't accept it and are not fools like the institutionalized majority Canadian. Iran is done, and they've never, in all of their 5,000 years of history, ever had to deal with the likes of the United States of America that's only 250 years old today. Nothing in precedent matches the United States of America and the expanding we the people that's a majority, at least in the world. If not a we the people democracy, at least it's codified in the highest laws of the land. They recognize the power of the people. That is a monumental achievement in less than 80 years, 82 years, I guess, technically by the time USA's birthday. But you think of that over a 5,000-year history. No one has seen the likes of that and the success of that, contrary to all the deluded, polluted socialists and fascists who just love autocracy. Sick, perverted, and warped. Only you people in an extreme global minority think that way. Sadly, it's sad to see a mass amount of a population being subjugated, biting that carrot, that crap stick, that shit stick. Yum, yum. Where can I eat more of that? I can tell you this. Donald J. Trump, if forced, which I don't think he will be, I think by the first week of April, we're going to see the Hormuz Canal fully open for business. Because I can tell you this, that's not in precedent in this 21st century and beyond. Going without power, internet, access to communications, all of it, being left in the dark, no power, no job, no industry. You want to see a revolution? That's an Iran regime under massive domestic revolution. Ugly. And that is the truth and reality that's all mankind. And people who don't see that are foolish. That's my video. Share this epic truth. Undeniable.